there are still more questions than answers in the Clinton Township explosion. The building that exploded Monday night was home to the Goo Smoke Shop and a supplier called Select Distributors. Officials say the blast sent debris flying 2 miles away. The 19-year-old man who was killed by shrapnel hasn't been identified yet, but he was reportedly watching the fire when he was killed. CBS News Detroit's Kelly Vaughn is tracking the investigation. So, Kelly, we know the fire is out at this point, but still a lot of concern over some of that debris.
Yes, tonight Clinton Township declared a state of emergency. The biggest danger right now is from butane canisters. Officials say this facility had hundreds, if not thousands, of these 10 to 15 pound canisters illegally on their property. Now, most of them did explode in the fire, but some remain undamaged and pressurized, so they could still explode. Some landed in residents' yards. Others were picked up by people who wanted a souvenir from the explosion site. Now, if you have one, you must call the township to have it collected by the Michigan State Bomb Squad.
So here was a danger piece right here.
Marie Ainsworth was one of the many people in Clinton Township who wanted a part of the fire scene.
And then here's a piece of the building with my collector.
Before she knew about the dangers, she'd picked up one of those butane canisters.
And you could still smell it.
She collected it with plans to show her coworkers.
And I did, till I got the phone call and all the notification. That can explode. I said, oh, I think I better leave.
She then wanted to turn it over to officials and drove it to the scene of the fire very carefully.
No, I'm serious. I'm not taking this road because it's too bumpy. Easy on them brakes.
Crews at the site, however, are not accepting canisters. She, like anyone else with one, must call the city and turn it over to the bomb squad.
Please don't put yourself, your family, and your friends in jeopardy, because those are dangerous.
Clinton Township's mayor, Robert Cannon, says the facility was illegally storing the butane canisters.
They were not permitted to have them in this building. They were illegally in that building.
The building was last inspected in 2022.
Since then, we've had one complaint on the property, and that had nothing to do with anything internal. It was for the storage of duck boats out in front of the business, which is in a violation of their site plan usage.
The Clinton Township Fire Chief says their investigation will take time, and they're grateful for all the support they've received.
I'm exceptionally proud of our people, the people that came in and helped from the other communities. So it's chaos, but it was controlled chaos.
Now, police tell me that the owners of the facility are being cooperative. They and the employees that were there at the time of the fire are being questioned as part of the investigation.
So you mentioned Clinton is under a local state of emergency. What does that really mean for the people who live there?
Right. It doesn't mean that you need to be worried. It means that if they declare a local state of emergency, they then have the opportunity to get reimbursed for some of the damages that the fire and the explosion caused.
Okay, reassuring. And I imagine it's going to be a bit of a mess down there for a while.
Exactly. Expect that area to be closed off, manned by police for the coming days, because this investigation is really going to start to get kicked off in the morning. ATF, local and state fire officials are all going to move in there, and they start the process by trying to recreate the scene of the fire and what led to it. So it's an in-depth process. They say expect heavy machinery in there and avoid the area as you can.
And a big scene. All right. Thank you very much, Kelly.